What?
It's time now for My Two Favorite Librarians. Brought to you by the Copper Tree Boutique in Dale's Grand Market, located in beautiful, historic downtown Amherst.
Hi, this is My Two Favorite Librarians. I'm Denise Corey.
I'm Chantel Taylor, and today we're talking about rereading books.
Rereading books.
We love to reread.
What book can you read over and over again?
I have a few that I regularly reread. So one of the big ones is the Stephanie Plum series. I reread that a lot.
And you especially like those ones on audio.
I have to. I was just going to say, if for some reason I'm in a coma, I would like those to be played to me like on a loop. Especially the teens. Those are my faves.
So that Grandma, what's-her-face, can like shoot the turkey again.
No, that's in one of the early ones. You need the specific reader, and I can't think of what her name is, but she's done 8 to the present.
Okay.
So the first like half dozen were different people, and they are not as good as this person.
Okay. Well, I will keep that in mind in case you're ever in a coma. I feel like TV has taught us that people go into comas way more often than they really do.
Yeah.
The problem with rereading is that there are so many books and just not enough time.
Yeah, it's very true. However, last year when pandemic started, I didn't really want to read new things, and we were constantly having to redo things and thinking, and it was like, okay, I don't want to absorb. I want something comforting. Mm-hmm. And then I had a whole big list of like, I'm going to reread this and I'm going to read da-da-da-da-da. And then I was like, oh God, no, these are all
nothing made you
ruined.
happy.
And so I had to just stop reading everything for a good chunk of time.
I think a lot of people had that issue. And it was like every day was redoing the plans that we made so that we could offer service. So yeah, my brain was hurting by the end of the day. And yeah, I did read a fair amount in the summer, but I did do some rereading last year too. One of the things that I like about rereading is that you get a different perspective on things, especially if it's something you read when you were young and then you read it again when you're our age.
Older.
What age is this? Middle-aged?
Yes, it is. We hope it's middle-aged.
Oh, yeah. Otherwise. Anyway, one of the books that I really loved when I was young and thought was so great and romantic, Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte.
Yeah, that fooled a lot of people.
And then I reread it, a couple of years ago for book club. And I was just like, why would I have ever liked this? Heathcliff is such a jerk. He is so cruel and terrible. And everything it's so bad. And I don't understand why I ever thought it was ever a romantic story.
So I am currently rereading a romance called Devil's Bride by Stephanie Lorenz. And it's the first book in the Sinsters series.
Please say that faster. It sounds so creepy when you say it that way.
I can't think if there's another, because they're not, the family name isn't Sinster. Anyway, so I've read this book a couple of times, and I think it's probably from the early aughts.
So there are some problematic scenes in it, I assume?
Well, I liked this book. And basically, the heroine is coming home from church, and she comes across a young man who's been shot. And so she stays to help him, and her horses run away, and she's like helping this man, and the hero comes along, and who's Devil, that's his nickname. They're all like Devil and Lucifer, and they've all got these nicknames. So Devil comes along, and it's his cousin that's in the road, and they end up having to, because there's a big storm, they end up having to spend the night together in a little cabin while this kid slowly dies. But because it's...
How is this a comfort read for you?
Well, let me just... So what happens is they want to solve the murder of their cousin. and they don't, like, it's not highwaymen. He had no money on him. It wouldn't have been poachers because of the barrel, like the caliber of the bullet, blah, blah, blah. And so they then have to get married because they've spent the night together. So she's from a very well-known family, but her father married beneath him, and she's determined not to get married at all. And she wants to go exploring. She wants to go to Africa, and she wants to go to different places. And all through the book, they're trying to convince her, and all the men are just like, when are you going to get these silly ideas out of your head and just realize that this is a good marriage and you'll have this whole house to run and your whole life will be set? And this time when I'm reading it, it's super annoying me because there's not even a look, because they do actually really like each other. And the hero's quite pleased because he doesn't, like, she's quite headstrong and she's quite opinionated and she's like not willing to bow down to him. She's totally giving it back. And there's not even a like, we can travel together.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like this. No, that's not happening. You were meant to like be my wife and have my children and run this house to be my duchess. And I was like, ugh.
So how is that a comfort read for you?
It's no longer a comfort.
It's no longer.
I've only read it a couple of times. It's not like Beard Science, which is another book that I reread all the time. And
Beard
I love.
Science isn't even that old. I feel like when you read it the first time, you went back and immediately read it again.
Well, and I read it and then it came out on audio. And so I've listened to the audio numerous times. It's like a great book to fall asleep to. Like I can, like, it's very, there's no...
You feel very comforted by the Winston
Yes.
brothers.
I like the voices.
Chantel even got herself a Winston Brothers tote bag.
It has all the Winstons on it. Adam thinks that the youngest, I can't think of his name, looks like Justin Trudeau. And I was like, ugh.
Now I'm going to have to go look at that. For me, a comfort read, something that I'll reread, is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. So I read that probably every couple of years. I reread it this past year. It's, light science fiction. There are some funny bits. It's not too heavy. That's, to me, that's a good comfort reread book.
I'm a skim reader. And so there's always things that I've missed. So when I read something or I listen to something, I think, oh, I don't remember that happening. Did I totally miss that? So if like Beard Science, I'm sure there were a few things the first couple of times I was like, I don't remember that at all.
Is that the one that I read?
Yes.
Okay.
With Cletus.
Yes.
My favorite.
One of the big problems I think I see with rereading is you can never get that first time feeling back.
I know. And that's something we do often say, I wish I could read this for the first time again.
I know. There are so many books where it's just like, oh, I really wish I had read that slower or...
Yes.
Okay.
The book that brought me out of my pandemic reading funk was Wolf Gone Wild by Juliet Cross. And I was really torn. Do I gobble this up or do I like pace myself so I have it longer? And I'm very, very, very excited because in May, they're releasing the audiobook. So there will be hopefully that first time excitement about hearing it, because I'm really hoping they've got someone good to play that Alpha Mateo role.
What if the audio
Don't
reader...
even say that.
Yes, and there's a second book out in that series now.
Yes, and the third book, Witches Get Stitches, is coming out in July.
So the second book is Don't Hex and Drive?
Yes.
Did you like that one?
I did like it. I enjoyed the sisters. I enjoy the world. I enjoyed the Bollywood because it's a Bollywood actor who's actually a vampire. That the hero.
The love interest?
Yes. And I'm looking forward to, we got a little bit more of some of the future love interests. She does a really good job of not overwhelming you because it's a lot of people in play because it's like 6 sisters.
Like I tried to read Hot and Badgered and it was like every single character that she was going to talk about over the next like 12 books. And every page I was just like, why is there
backstory on every character.
Yeah, why are they introducing? Do you have to introduce every single character within this first
So you
book?
won't be rereading.
No, I didn't even finish it. I didn't even read it. There won't be a reread.
Do you start a series from the beginning? So like,
I have to.
so if you're rereading like a particular book, like if you're going to do something for book club, would you start it from the beginning and reread it right through? Because I'm thinking once the Wolf Gone Wild comes out in May, I'm hoping the second one will be out on audio as well. So I may reread coming up to the July
Release
of the third book.
Witches Get Stitches, which is a great title.
I know.
I don't know that I have ever reread a whole series. I'm not sure.
Because I do sometimes, and sometimes it stalls me. Like sometimes I think,
No, I reread all of the Harry Potters.
Yes.
And I started at the beginning with that.
because I've been trying to get through Immortals After Dark, and I started at the beginning again. And of course, I love it. And there's so many little.
I really don't.
Yeah, you don't. There's so many little
I'm not going to reread that.
details that I love. But it's like, it's kind of overwhelming again to get to book 19 or whatever's coming out this year.
Guess what I'm reading right now?
You told me.
No, I didn't.
Okay, then I don't know.
I picked up Les Miserables again.
Ooh, yeah, because we're making plans for the future.
I'm at page 298.
Of
About 1300.
look, you read a few pages.
Yeah, now he's talking about Waterloo and the poor choices Napoleon made,
Oh dear God.
which has nothing to do with the characters now because this is in the past. But the whole time I'm reading it, I'm thinking, Waterloo.
Could they not have fit that in, Les Mis? Come on.
Then it's like, oh, I should go put on ABBA. Is that just me? Am I the
Well,
only-
I haven't read, but I
Like,
mean,
no.
we all think Waterloo when we hear Waterloo.
Waterloo. I know. I'm sorry.
I was defeated. You won the war. It's finish it.
I'm sorry. People shouldn't have to hear me sing at all. I realize that this is the radio, so you should play like real music and not have to listen to me sing. Are you reading?
I just told you I'm reading Devil's Bride, which is not going well this time. I put it on a Monday when I'm home doing laundry. There was nothing I really wanted to watch on TV. And so I just put it on. I'm letting it run through.
Okay.
But I am apparently catching all the very sexist,
References.
just be a housewife.
I mean, it is set in what, Regency period?
Oh, I think it might be a little even earlier than Regency. I was really disappointed that she didn't get to punch the villain in the face because she did punch someone else when he was inappropriate with her, and I really liked that. And I thought, she could have taken her umbrella to him.
Way to advocate for violence.
Not violence, just a strong heroine.
Is there anything else that you want to mention about rereading?
I did want to mention one of the things that often spurs me on to rereading, of course, is podcasts. Because they're always talking about different tropes or different series. And I think, I loved that book. I need to go back and read that again. Oh, I didn't remember that part. I need to go back and I need to figure that out. So podcasts are another reason I usually end up rereading things too.
Yeah, I don't listen to nearly as many podcasts as you do.
It's true.
I want to talk about LinkedIn Learning. So the library has purchased LinkedIn Learning, and it has thousands of courses on everything. So if you go on the library's website, and which is
www.cumberlandpubliclibraries.ca.
I tried to catch her while she was taking a drink, but no, didn't work. In the resources section, click on LinkedIn Learning. You're going to need your library card number and your PIN to log in. If you're not sure what your PIN is, you can contact us. We can reset it for you.
It's usually the last 4 digits of your telephone unless you've reset it.
Yeah. And there's just a phenomenal amount of information on there that you can learn about. I'm thinking of taking the financial accounting course.
Interesting.
It's like, I think 18 modules. I think that would help me in my work to understand accountants because they speak a different language. It's not the same language.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So LinkedIn Learning, check it out. Lots of cool stuff on there. And it's available for you for free as long as you have a library card. And if you don't have a library card, we'll give you that free too. Do you know what we're talking about next week?
I have no idea.
Of course you don't, because I didn't tell you. We're going to talk about books that have been turned into TV series.
Oh.
There you go. Talk to you next week.
Bye. Hi, everyone. This is Chantal from my Two Favorite Librarians with a little library update. We always record these shows in advance, so some of this episode may have some inaccurate information. As of Friday, April the 30th, we are closed to the public, but we are offering grab and go pickup or borrow by mail to all Cumberland County residents. Book drops are open at all of our locations. You can place holds online at cumberlandpubliclibraries.ca, or you can call your library and staff can give you a hand over the phone. You can also email us at information@cumberlandpubliclibraries.ca. Oxford, unfortunately, because it's in the medical center, is closed, so we can't get in to access it. So if you're an Oxford resident and you want some books, give the Amherst Library a call at 902-667-2549, and we can arrange to have your holds either picked up at a different location or we'll send them to you in the mail. You can also call the Amherst number if you don't have the internet. So we're here, even though we're closed. We're hoping we'll be back in 2 weeks. But give us a call or an email if you have any questions. And book drops are open. You can return your books.
My Two Favorite Librarians. Brought to you by the Copper Tree Boutique in Dales Grand Market, located in beautiful, historic downtown Amherst.